Hi, my name's Suspira, and I'm the owner and the director of the Orlando Belly Dance Academy in Central Florida. In this volume, we'll be extending beyond the basics of Middle Eastern dance. We'll learn new concepts, movements, and terminology, and expand on the steps you've already mastered. Today, I'll be assuming that you've already taken time to properly warm up your muscles to avoid injury, and that you're comfortable with the foundational movements and terminology we learned in the beginner's program, or that you've had solid training in these techniques with your own live instructor. A complete list of these movements we covered in the last volume can be found on the menu of this DVD. If you're unfamiliar with these movements, it will be necessary for you to learn them before working with this intermediate program. As we practice the movements, I'll be acting as your mirror. If I cue you to move to the right, I will actually be moving to the left. That way, it will appear that we are moving on the same side. Remember to have fun, keep a sense of humor, and work at your own pace. Let's get ready to belly dance. So far, we've taken our movements on an up and down and side-to-side plane. As we advance as dancers, we can successfully add some new dimensions. One way to do this is by extending our movements into the diagonal plane. We can think about the letter X slicing through the body, creating diagonal lines to the front and the back corners. In our exercises today, we'll use the concept of diagonals with our ribcage slides and then with hip slides. We'll drill one side at a time in a pattern of front diagonal, to the side, back diagonal, and back to the side. Let's see what this feels like. Begin with our horizontal ribcage slides, back and forth. Now, let's split the body in half and focus on our right side only. Slide from right to center. Now, let's try this with a front diagonal. Be careful not to drop the shoulder down. Use your abdominals to make a strong, clean slide. Now, let's try it to the back. Again, keep the body straight. The ribcage leads, not the shoulder. Let's practice this with some music. Beginning on the right side. Slowly first, we'll take it out and pull it back in. To the side. Pull it back in. To the back and pull it back in. And to the side. Back in. A little faster. To the front. To the side. Back and to the side. Again to the front. Side. Back and to the side. Let's try that left side. Slide to the front. Pull it back. Side. Pull it back. To the back. Back. Back to center. And to the side. And center. Let's speed it up. We'll take front. Side. Back. Side. Again, front, side, back, and side. Excellent. The sister step of the ribcage slide is our hip slide. Here, we are pulling our hips side to side without tilting at the end of the movement. We'll need to make sure that our knees are straight or equally bent to keep it moving horizontally. If one knee is bent, the opposite hip will lift, losing the effect of the slide. Let's try the hip slides now on the diagonal. To the front and to the back. We'll try this with the same pattern as our ribcage slides. Let's practice with some music. Arms in second position. Starting on the right, we'll push forward. Pull it in. to the side, pull it in, to the back, and pull it in, to the side, and in. A little faster, here we go. Forward, side, back, and side. Again, forward, side, back, and side. One more time to the front, side, back, and side. Beautiful. Let's try that left side. Slowly to the front. Here we go. It's forward, and pull it in, side, and pull it back in, to the back, and in, and to the side, and in. Up to tempo, to the front, and side, and back, and side. Again, to the front, side, back, and side. One more time, to the front, and side, and back, and side. In our beginner program, we mastered our upper body undulations, or camels. Today, we'll learn some new undulating movements and some variations on what you already know. Let's start with what we call a pelvic camel, or a pelvic undulation. If we do a large, exaggerated upper body undulation, the lower body naturally counters with the pelvic undulation. As I take this movement, notice the natural movement of the pelvis. If we silence our upper body and allow only our bottom half to move, we have our pelvic camel. Let's break it down. I'll do this on a 3/4 profile. Feet parallel, rib cage lifted, always using our beautiful posture. We first need to imagine a triangle with a point at the bottom. Down, back, front. Down, back, front. We'll trace this shape with our lower body. We'll begin this movement by taking a plie, or bend of the knees. Now, straighten our knees completely and push the pelvis to the back. This is the back of the triangle. Now, push the pelvis forward to form the front point of the triangle. Be careful not to scoop or lift the pelvis. Instead, we want to push flat through the body. Then, bend the knees to start again. So we have plie, straighten the knees to the back and front. Plie, straighten the knees to the back and front. As we smooth this out, we have our pelvic camel. Notice the level change because we're bending the knees. We also begin to accent this to the front. Forward, and forward, and forward, and forward. Let's try this with music. Arms in second, and bend the knees. We'll take it front and down, back front and down, back front and down, back front, to the center, back front and down. Push it forward and forward. Try to relax. To the opposite diagonal, forward, 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 and forward. Again to the center, front, and front, and front. Let's take these in sets of 2. Here we go. It's 1 and 2. Center, 1 and 2. To the corner, and 2. Here's our last one. Beautiful. The reverse undulation is sometimes called a dolphin. This movement requires great strength and control of the lower body and has a more circular feel. Let's see what it looks like. We can break it down into 4 parts. Bend the knees. Tilt or tuck the pelvis upward. Push up and over to the front. Now, drop the pelvis back to neutral and contract the belly back. As we smooth this out, up, over, neutral, back, we have our reverse undulation. Let's try this with some music. Staying on this 3/4 and bend the knees. We'll take tuck, up and over, drop back to neutral, and pull. Contract those muscles. Up and over, drop, and pull it back. Let's smooth it out. Up and over, pull back. Up and over, up and over, again. Center, up and over, push, push. Excellent. Switch, over, over, over. Feel that circle. Back to center. Let's try this in sets of 2. Pushing up and over. That's it. To center. To the side. And last one, back to center. Beautiful. Let's go back to our standard upper body undulations. We can turn it into a traveling step by walking as we take the movement. This is executed by taking a step forward or back as we push the ribcage forward. At the end of the movement, we bend our knees and get ready to step again. We can take this in any direction. We can also angle the upper body right and left as we walk. This time we'll extend the ribcage to the corners as we step. Now relax in the center and bend the knees before we step again. Out and relax, out and relax. Let's take both variations with some music. Arms in second position. Stepping on the right. Here we go. Forward. Bend the knees. Forward and bend. Forward and bend. And forward. Let's take it back. Back. Keep the ribcage pushing forward as we step. To the right. Push, relax, push, relax, push, relax, and push. Stepping back. Keep the ribcage going forward as we step. Other side. Forward and forward. Forward and forward. Step it back on the right foot. Up to tempo. Here we go. Step 1, 2, 3, and back. To the side. And back. Opposite side. And back. Now side to side, in place first. And now with the step. Step out, relax, out, relax, out, relax, and out. Take it back. Angle to the corners. Up to tempo. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Back. 1, 2, 3, 4, and breathe. Let's remember now our vertical figure eights and talk about how they can travel side to side. This is our vertical figure eight. The hip glide is based off of this figure eight. We can transform this movement by focusing on one hip circle at a time. To travel to the right, we'll use the left hip and vice versa. Let's break down the right side first. Bend your knees. Slide the foot outward as we circle the hip inward. Bend the knees. Continue again. Slide out as the hip makes the circle and bend. Use your obliques. Let's try this to the left side. Slide the foot out and circle the right hip. Up and in and bend. Squeeze and bend. This is our hip glide. Let's try this with some music. Bend the knees nice and slow. Here we go. Circle the left hip, down, up and down, up and down, and switch directions. Squeeze that hip in, plie, up and down, up and down. Again, here we go, up and in. Bend the knees. Really lift the hip, pull it in, and switch. One slow, two fast. Slow, too fast, in and in. Again, slow and fast. Slow, fast. One more time. Now 4 fast. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Switch. Adding arms. 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch. One more time. And finish to the left. Our Myah, or downward figure 8, can also turn into a traveling step in any direction. Today, we'll take it side to side. Here's our Myah. Now, let's travel with it. The first thing we need to do is establish the pattern of the feet. We'll take a step out, together, out, together, out, together, out, and touch, out, together, out, together, out, together, out, and touch. Whenever we place our weight on a foot, we'll take a Myah on that side. Out, together, out, together, out, together, out, just a touch, out, finish it, out, finish, step, and finish, and step, and touch. Let's try this with some music. And here we go. Stretch, finish, stretch, and finish. Stretch, and finish, and stretch. Just a touch. Switch directions. And finish. Lead with the wrists. It's out, and together, and out. Just a touch. Up to tempo. Here we go. Out, out. Switch, out. Again. Last time, stretch and stretch. Really pull away from the rib cage. And step and touch. An external figure 8 takes the concept of a figure 8 pattern, but it extends out of the body. This is what it looks like. I like to think of this movement as being more of an uppercase letter B than a true figure 8. We'll take this one side at a time. The pattern will be that letter B, going forward, pushing out, drawing a loop, coming back through center, to the back, making an inward loop, and back to center. The feet would be forward, center, back, center, forward, center, back, center. Let's put this together. Step forward, push the pelvis to the front, circle outward, then shift the weight to the opposite foot. Step to the back, push the pelvis back and circle inward. Shift the weight back to the opposite foot. Smooth it out. Forward, circle out, back, circle in. Forward, circle out, and back, circle in. Let's be careful to keep the hip bones facing forward at all times. Let's try it with some music. Arms in second position. We'll take it forward. Push it out, back, pull it in. Forward, push out, back, pull in. Forward, push out, back, pull in. One more. Let's try it a little faster. Here we go. Forward and back. Now we start to see that figure 8. 4 more. Lift that rib cage. Let's try this on the left. Forward, push it out. Back, pull it in. Forward, push it out. Back, pull it in. Forward, out, back, and in. Forward, back. Here we go. Forward and back. Forward and back. Last 4. 4, 3, 2, and last 1. Three-quarter or triplet shimmies are traveling combinations of 3 hip articulations at a time that can be sped up into shimmies. There is great debate on how to properly execute these movements depending on your region and your instructor. Today, I will share the most common variation, which I also personally perform myself. We call it a three-quarter shimmy because we use 3 out of 4 counts in a standard measure of a 4/4 time signature. We can accent with an up or a down hip. That helps us determine whether we're doing a three-quarter shimmy on the up or on the down. These movements have a joyful, earthy feel. Let's begin with the up. Let's start by establishing the pattern of the feet. We'll touch or bevel one foot, then place the weight back as we step back down. The pattern will become touch and step, touch and step, touch and step, touch and step. We use the first 3 counts of the measure and then rest on the last. Touch and step, rest, touch and step, rest. Let's add the hip. The hips will make a triangle with a point at the top. Up, side, side, up, side, side. We'll take 1 hip lift and 2 side-to-side hips to make this triangle. When we touch the foot, we'll lift that hip. Now, push the hip in the opposite direction. As we place the weight back onto the foot, we'll take another side hip. Touch, lift the hip, push to the side, and then the opposite side. If we want to travel with this, we'll take a step on the third count. Lift, side, step, lift, side, step. Make sure the heel comes all the way down or to the back. Lift, side, step, lift, side, step. Let's try this with some music. Arms in second position. Let's start just with the feet. It's touch, step, touch, step, touch, step, and add the hips. Here we go. Lift, side, side, lift, side, side, lift, side, side, and let's add a walk. It's lift, side, step, lift, side, step, lift, side, step. Let's take it back. Lift, side, side, lift, side, side. Keep the heel down as we step. Let's try that again. Up, side, side, up, side, side, up, side, side, up, side, side, and back. 2 more. Let's speed up the feet. Touch, step, touch, step. And add the hips. Lift, side, side. Get ready to walk. 1, 2 step, 1, 2 step. And back. Again. 1, 2 step. And back. Now let's hold it in place, and we'll take it as fast as we can. This turns into our shimmy. Here we go. We can also take a 3/4 shimmy on the down. This time we'll accent our hip downward on the first beat. Let's break it down. Start in a touch position or a bevel on the right. Drop that hip down. We then pause for 1 count. Stay in that right hip and push it to the side, allowing the foot to take the weight. Lift the opposite hip and the heel. We're ready to take this on the left. Down, side on the same hip, and lift. Down, hold, side, lift. Down, hold, side, lift. So now the resting count is on beat 2. This creates a different rhythm than the 3/4 shimmy on the up. To walk with it, we'll step forward or back as we drop the hip on the first count. Let's try this with some music. Stationary first. Here we go. Down, hold, side, lift. Down, hold, side, lift. A little faster. Down, side, up. Down, side, up. Down, side, up. Let's add a walk. Step, side, lift. Step, side, lift. Step, side, lift. And take it to the back, pulling down as we step. Down, side, lift. Down, side, lift. Again, slowly forward. Here we go. Down, side, up. Keep our movements nice and tight. Down, side, lift. Down, take it back. Down, side, lift. Down, side, lift. Down, side, lift. A little faster. Here we go. Down, side lift. Down, side lift. Walking forward. Down, side lift. And back. Down, side lift. Again, down, down. And back. Hold in place. And let's speed it up into a shimmy. Now that we've mastered our 3/4 shimmy on the down, we can add a twisting movement to the first drop to transform it into a Hagala or Algerian shimmy. Let's break it down. Start with our standard 3/4 shimmy on the down. Now, twist the hip forward to change the angle of the hip as we start the movement. Finish. Twist, hold, side, lift. Twist, hold, side, lift. This movement makes a beautiful traveling step. No matter which direction we travel, we'll always twist the hip inward on the first step. It'll look like this. Twist and lift, down and up. To the back, still twisting inward. We can take it with flat feet for an earthy feel or up on releve for a more elegant cabaret look. Let's try both with some music. Slowly first, here we go. And walk it forward. This time our heels are down. Take it back. A little faster. And walk it forward. And back. One more time. And back. Good job. Let's take this onto releve. Lift the heels. Down, side lift. And back. Down, side lift. Again. And back. Up to tempo. One more time. Many of our most festive movements originate in the Egyptian countryside. The tone of these movements are strong and deliberate. The word Beledi translates in Arabic to mean from the countryside. Beledi is also a very common rhythm of our dance form, which translates verbally as doom doom teka tek, doom teka tek, doom doom teka tek, doom teka tek. The dancer can translate this rhythm as movements in many different ways, but the most common is called the Beledi Step. This is sometimes called a hip drop kick. It looks like this. Let's break it down. Begin with the hip drop. The hip drops will become the metronome of our step. Every other time we drop the hip, we'll slide the foot forward and point the toe. We could also break this down as lift, drop, lift, release. Lift, drop, lift, release. Make sure that the extension of the leg is part of the hip drop, not a separate kick. Not this. The brush should be very low to the ground. Let's try this with some music. Back into our 3/4 angle. Bevel on the right is lift, drop, lift, release. Lift, drop, lift, release. Lift, drop, lift, release. Step, change directions. Up, down, up, release. Point those toes. Here's the third one. And we'll switch sides and touch again slowly. Lift, drop, lift, release. Lift the rib cage. Step, switch directions. Now let's take that a little faster. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and step and touch. 1 and 2 and 3 and step. Adding arms, palm out, palm down. Last one. Beautiful. The word Said also translates to mean country. The word Saidi describes a style of belly dancing that includes many earthy, energetic, and playful movements. The Saidi Hip Drop is a great example. It looks like this. Let's break it down. We'll first imagine that our hips are drawing a rainbow from front to back. Now, let's pull that hip even further forward. Bend the knees. Now, pull the hip back and point the toe. We can drop the heel, or as a more advanced variation, we can keep the heel lifted if we keep the same tone of the movement. Be careful not to pull the body forward. We still need to stand up straight. Let's try this with some music. On our three-quarter angle, nice and slow. Here we go. Heel down first. Down. Pull it back. We want to contract the abdominals. Pull. Down and pull. And we'll take a step and a touch to the other direction. Down. Pull it back. Down. Pull it back. Use those obliques. And back. And step. A little faster. Here we go. Down. And down. And down. And step and touch. Down. And down. And down. Step and touch. Let's try it with a lifted heel. Down, and down, and down. Add some arms. One more time each side. Our next movement is a side traveling hip lift that is sometimes called a typewriter step because it looks like a dancer is a typewriter carriage gliding across the page. This is what it looks like. Now, let's break it down. To travel to the right, we'll articulate our right hip. Let's start in a touch or bevel position. Step to the side as we lift the hip. The opposite leg will slide inward at the same time, creating a diagonal feel within the body. Leave the heel lifted on the side of the active hip. Be careful that we aren't lifting the hip and then sliding the foot separately like this. We can also take this movement onto releve to make it a faster movement. Or slide that foot in. Let's take it side to side with some music. Slowly first to the right. Lift up, lift up, lift up, lift up, and switch. Lift up, and up, and up. Switch, speed it up, lift, hip lift, and switch. Again. Now 2 slow, 3 fast. And 1, 2, and 3. On the fast, we'll need to come up onto releve. Adding arms. One more time. The Egyptian sidewalk also travels horizontally, but this time we'll use the opposite hip. So if we travel to the right, we'll need to use the left hip and vice versa. We can do this movement square to the audience, or with the upper body turning on a 3/4 angle, like this. Let's break it down. Begin in plie, pelvis tucked underneath us. As we slide to the right, we'll lift the hip at the same time. Remember, we'll need to use the left hip when we're traveling to the right. Bend the knees and start again. Slide, lift, and bend. Slide, lift, and bend. You can leave the heel up on the side of the active hip even when you're in plie. Let's try the opposite side. Up and down. Up and down. This movement feels a little like a seesaw. Be careful not to let your feet get too wide apart. We can also add some arms and that 3/4 angle of the body. One arm will pose behind the head and the opposite will push in the direction we travel to. Let's see what that looks like. Be careful not to pull the elbow behind us. The hand should always push where we're going, not behind. Let's take this with some music. Starting horizontally first. It's up and bend, up and bend, up and bend, and up and switching sides. Lift, bend, lift, bend, up, bend, up. Let's speed that up. Lift, 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 and lift. Switch. Again. Adding those arms. Here we go. Push. And switch. One more set, here we go. Lift that hip, and to the left. Great job. Piston hips or hip locks are strong percussive movements that travel sharply up and down, using our glutes and our obliques to help make the movement nice and strong. The term piston hips comes from the pistons moving up and down in the engine of a car. The dancer's version uses the same concept. We can accent upward or downward. Many people are first confused on where this movement should come from and how to execute it. To get the general idea, we can cheat it for a moment. We'll start by locking our knees straight, something we'd never really do when we are dancing, and then lifting the heel up. Pull it straight up into the rib cage. This is the feeling we want to create when we're taking our piston hips. Now, let's do it correctly, starting with an accent upward. Feet parallel, pelvis tucked underneath us. Lift the hip up. Feel the vertical pull into the rib cage. keep the heels down. Let's try this on the left. Lifting up and up and up and up. We need to make sure that our feet are either on the ground or that our heels are equally lifted. If we pump our heels like this, we are not taking the movement properly, but rather using our legs instead of our hips. This movement should be much more internal. Let's try to accent on the down now. This one is a little bit harder. First, start with the hip lifted up without lifting your heel. Pull it to the floor on the beat. Push. Push down and push down. Let's take this on the other side. Sneak it up, keep that heel down, and straight to the floor. Alternate. Right down, left down, right down, left down. Let's try both the ups and the downs with some music. Starting with the lifts. Pelvis tucked underneath us, and we'll lift the right, the left, the right, the left. Speeding up. Right, left, right, left. Even faster, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2. Keep that rib cage lifted. Nice, strong, percussive movement. And slow it down. Lift, lift, up, straight up into the rib cage. Speed it up. Now, let's lift the heels and try this up on releve. Speed it up. 1, 2, 1, 2. Good job. Drop the heels down, and let's accent on the down. Here we go. Right down, left down, right down, and left down. Speed it up. Right, left. A little faster. Slow it back down. Right, left. Feel that vertical pull. A little faster. And now up onto releve. Lift the heels. Speed it up. And drop the heels back down. An Omi or ummi is a circular movement that is also used in Polynesian dance. It can be defined as a tilting hip circle. In the Middle Eastern version, we accent the front of the circle. Forward, forward, and forward. The Polynesian version accents to the back. Back, back, back. When we break down the Omi, we can first start by making a square. The sides of the square will consist of our upward hip locks. The front and the back of the square will be a tuck and drop of the pelvis. Let's try just a tuck and a drop. A tuck or lift accents forward and upward. Start with the knees bent. A drop accents downward to a neutral position. Drop, 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 drop. To take a pelvis drop, we must start with our pelvic tuck and then drop it down. We can't start in a neutral position and then push it back further, or we'll end up arching our back. Start lifted and drop down. If we think of that tuck and the drop as the front and back of our Omi, we can break it down as that square. Let's try this. Tuck forward, lift the right, drop down to neutral, lift the left, up, lift, drop, lift. If we smooth this out, we have our Omi. Let's try this with some music. Arms in second position. Knees are bent, breaking down, up, right, down, left, up, right, down, left, up, right, down, left. Smooth it out, up and around, lift. Tilt that circle upward. 4 more, 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Let's take quick sets of 3s. 1, 2, 3, hold. 1, 2, 3, hold. 1, 2, 3, and hold. Last one. Great job. Now let's break this down to the left side. Here we go. Tuck, lift the left, drop, lift the right. Up, side, drop, side. Up, side, drop. Let's smooth it out. Lift and roll around. Up and roll. Up and roll. Quick sets of 3. 1, 2, 3, and hold. 1, 2, 3, and hold. 2 more. Up. 2, 3, and hold. And 1, and 2, and 3, and hold. Beautiful. Chassé is a French word that means to chase. The chassé step is used in many dance forms, and belly dance is no exception. This movement is most commonly used for entrances and exits from the stage. It looks like this. We can break this movement down as step together, step, hold, step together, step, hold, or to the back, step together, step, hold, step together, step, hold. The most common arms for this movement sweep from side to side, traveling towards the active leg. Keep lots of energy in your arms from shoulder to fingertip, and be careful not to let your hands get too close to the chest. We also want to avoid leading the arms with your hands. That would look like this. Instead, lead with the shoulder and the elbow. You can think of the arms as sitting on a tabletop and gliding across the surface. This way, our elbows aren't tempted to fall down. Let's put this together with the feet. Starting in our bevel, our arms will prepare to the left to travel to the right. 1 and 2. Step together, step. Step together, step. Step together, step. We can also take this movement side to side, adding a ball change at the end of the movement. Step together, step, back, front. Step together, step, back, front. The back front movement is called a ball change. 1 and 2, ball change. 1 and 2, ball change. Let's add some arms. Our arms will begin in second position. Step together, step. As we take the ball change, one hand will come behind the head and the other pushes in front of the body. Ball change. Step together, step, ball change. Let's take this with some music. We'll take 4 chassés forward, 4 chassés to the back, and then 4 chassés side to side. Let's try it. Half time first. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's take it back. 1, 2, 3. Keeping that nice regal stance. 1, 2, 3. Now we go side to side. Step together, step. Ball change. Step together, step. Ball change. Step together, step, ball, chains, chassé. And let's take this to tempo. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And back. To the sides. Again. Forward. 1, 2, 3. And back. To the sides. Point that toe. One more set. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. And back. To the sides. Last one. Excellent. Combinations are a wonderful way to learn to fuse movements together. We'll learn a few short combinations today, but feel free to put the movements together into a longer routine or to create your own combinations at home. Our first combination starts with Beledi. Let's take a 3/4 angle with our right foot in a bevel. We'll take 1 Beledi step. Lift, drop, lift, release. Point the toe. Next, we'll take a Saidi Hip Drop. Bring it all the way down and pull back. So we have Beledi, Saidi, and then we'll cross the right foot in front, turning sharply back to center. Let's take this on the left side. Lift, drop, lift, release. Saidi, down and back. Quick turn, crossing the foot over. Next, we'll step forward and back. 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, adding an upper body undulation. Right, left, then back, right, then left. 2 Omis to the left. That breaks down as lift up, lift the left, drop, lift the right. Smooth that out. 2 Omis. Beautiful. And then staying in place, we'll take a little plie with a shoulder shimmy. Let's put this combination together. We have Beledi, Saidi, turn and face front. Beledi, Saidi, turn and face front. Walking right, 1 and 2, back, 1 and 2, Omis left, 1 and 2, and a shoulder shimmy down. Let's try this with some music. Halftime first. Lift, drop, lift, release, Saidi. Crossover and hold. Other side. Lift, drop, lift, release, Saidi. Cross over and hold. Walking forward. Right foot, left foot, right foot, and left foot. 2 Omis left, up, around, and up, around. Shoulder shimmy down and up. Again, slowly. Lift, drop, lift, release, Saidi. Cross turn and hold. Other side. Lift, drop, lift, release, Saidi. Cross turn and hold. Walk it forward. Right, left, back, right. Upper body undulation. 2 Omis left. Up and around, and shoulder shimmy. Up to tempo, here we go. Beledi, Saidi, turn. Beledi, Saidi, and turn. Walk it forward. 1, 2, back. Omi to the left. 1 and 2, and down. Again. Beledi, Saidi, and turn. Beledi, Saidi, and turn. Forward walk. Back. Omi. 1 and 2, shoulder shimmy. One more time. Left side. Walk it forward. 1, 2, back, and Omi, 1 and 2, shoulder shimmy down and up. Our second combination begins with our chassé side to side. We'll take step together, step, ball, change, step together, step, ball, change. We'll add reverse tempo arms on the ball change. 1 and 2, add the arms. 1 and 2, add the arms. Next, we'll take our external figure 8 on the right side, pushing forward, center, back, and center, and then 3 Myahs or downward figure 8s. Right, left, right, and hold. 2 reverse undulations follow. Up and over, those are our dolphins, and then 2 chest circles to the right. Up to the right, up to the right. For our final count of 8, we'll take 4 counts of shimmy, vibrational with the arms coming down, and then 4 more shimmies with a wrist circle, stretching to the audience and back to the heart. Let's put this together. Step together, step, ball, change, step together, step, ball, change, external 8, take it back, Myah 1, 2, and 3, and hold. Dolphin. And again, chest circle. And again, let's shimmy, arms coming down, and wrist circle. Let's put this together with some music. Arms in second position, halftime, here we go. Step together, step, ball, change. Step together, step, ball, change. External 8. Take it to the back, Myah down, down, and up. Dolphin, reverse. Reverse. Chest circle to the right, let's shimmy. 4 arms coming down, and 4 with our wrist circles. Again, step together, step, back, front. Step together, step, back, front. Forward, this is our external 8, back, Myah, right, left, and hold on the right, reverse undulation. Again, chest circle right. Again, let's shimmy, 4 with arms coming down, and 4 with that reaching circle. Up to tempo, here we go. 1 and 2, 1 and 2. External 8, Myah, dolphin, circle, and shimmy. Starting again. 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Circle forward and back. 1, 2, 3. Dolphin. Chest circle. Shimmy. One more time. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Forward and back. 1, 2, 3. Dolphin. Chest circle. And shimmy. And circle. Beautiful. Our last combination begins with a hip glide. To the right. Remember, to travel to the right, we need to use our left hip. We'll take 2. Bend, lift and circle, bend, lift and circle, ending in our bevel and touch position. From here, we'll take 2 bicycle hips from back to front, back to front, back to front. Then we'll take it to the left. Let's add some arms to this. 1, 2, 3, 4. The arms come into our S shape. 2 bicycle hips back to front. Next, we'll take 4 Hagalas forward. Twist and a twist and a twist and a twist and up. Coming back to center, arms drop down for 4 shoulder rolls. Little dip here. Next, we'll step back on the right, left, taking chest pops. Right, left, right, left. And lastly, we'll add a slow 3/4 shimmy on the up. Lift, side, side, lift, side, side. That would be right, left, right, left, right, left. Let's put this together, traveling to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 hip glides. Now 2 bicycle hips. 5, 6, 7, 8, reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 bicycle hips. 5, 6, 7, 8, 4 Hagalas to the front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 shoulder rolls with a little dip. Right, left, walking back with chest pop to the right, left, and 3/4 shimmy. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's take this with some music. To the right, here we go. 1, plie, 2, and 2 bicycle hips. Reverse, glide, plie, and bicycle hips. Hagala to the front. 1, 2, 3, 4, dipping down with shoulder roll. Stepping back, right, left, pop that chest. Lift, side, side, lift, side, side. Again, 1, 2, and bicycle hip. Reverse, 1, bend the knees. Bicycle hip. Hagala to the front. 1, 2, 3, 4, shoulders. Stepping back, pop that rib cage side to side, and 3/4 on the up. Up to tempo, here we go. 1, 2, and 1, 2. Hagala. 1, 2, 3, 4, and down. Take it back, pop, 2, 3, 4, lift side, side. Again, 1, 2, and bicycle hip. Hagala. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, dip it down. Back. Lift side, side. Last time, 1, 2, bicycle hip. 1, 2, and bicycle hip. Hagala. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, dip it down. And back. 1, 2, 3, 4, lift side, side, lift side, side. I hope you've enjoyed this DVD and that it will be a useful tool in your growth as a dancer. If you found this program helpful, or if you have further questions, I'd love to hear from you. Contact information can be found on my website, orlandobellydance.com. Thanks so much for joining me today, and happy shimmies.